So looking at it, bro, we got to go ahead and get it to at least 10,000. What's up? Good morning. Welcome to the Best 49ers show. I just finished up my 6-hour morning routine. Been really inspired by Ashton Hall recently. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. I just don't dip my face in highly acidic sparkling water. That's the new thing. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm good, man. I think that guy is actually smart, man. Like, I think he's trolling.
I think he's too, and I've never seen a video blow up like that. Like, that's the biggest rage bait thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't escape it. And all I know is that last weekend I went out to this place called Limon in Oakland. It's like a really good Peruvian chicken spot. And I was ordering food, and they're like, do you want regular water or sparkling water? I was like, ooh, sparkling. And they're like, do you want the blue bottle? I was like, what is the blue bottle? And they brought it over. I was like, that's a blue bottle. Now I see it everywhere. It's like it's a status symbol. It's crazy.
Man, like I've learned, if you don't follow Gary V, you should. You guys you have similar things going on. Both Jewish, both took what their fathers did and compounded it. Both hustlers. He's a Jets fan. He's very interesting, but what he wrote a book recently called "Attention is the New Currency." So basically, like, this guy, everyone's making fun of him, whatever, but he's blowing up and he's making money off of this. He's got like millions of followers right now. So it doesn't even matter if it's good or bad or what it is. It's just the attention is the new currency. So
yeah, he's the new content. Everyone has jokes about him, memes about him, and he's just, I mean, clearly he did that on purpose. Anyway, I loved it. Thought it was really funny. And now I wanted to do my own morning routine, but everyone's already done it, beat me to it. So here's the news of the day.
Yeah.
Apparently the Browns are trying to trade for Brandon Aiyuk. This comes from John Frashella. I don't know. It's not Adam Schefter, but I don't know John Frashella like that. He could be right. He's been right about stuff in the past, and we do know that the Browns were interested in Aiyuk last year. They tried to trade for him last year. Aiyuk had no interest in playing with Deshaun Watson or signing an extension with them. Now the extension's been signed. He's signed through 2028. He has to go wherever he gets traded, and they're clearly going to get a new quarterback. It could be Shadur Sanders. I don't know. Do you think Brandon Aiyuk is going to get dealt in the next week? You know, he's got that option bonus due on April 1st, $22.5 million.
I think the 49ers would love to trade him.
Yes.
I do not believe these rumors that a team really wants to trade for Brandon Aiyuk. Not at that price point. Like, the money that they're going to have to pay for Brandon Aiyuk plus trade capital, and he's coming off of a horrific knee injury. I just don't believe it. Like, if you're a general manager of a team, now maybe the Browns have a history of making bad decisions. So if anyone does it, maybe the Browns would. If I'm a GM, I'm not trading any draft capital and paying that amount of money for a player who we have no guarantee what he's going to be like after recovering from the injury. So that's why I just find it hard to believe.
I mean, I could see a team trading a 4th or 5th round pick for Aiyuk, thinking, well, the Niners are desperate. They don't want to pay him this option bonus. They have to save cash for Brandon Aiyuk. We could swoop in and get Aiyuk for nothing, essentially, in terms of draft capital, and just be patient with him. Like, he'll be healthy eventually. He may not be exactly what he was before, but with modern medicine and surgery technology, he should be very good. And maybe he won't be really good in 2025, but if you're drafting Shadur Sanders, maybe you're thinking more about 2026 and beyond anyway. So it could be seen as an opportunity, but do you really want to trade a 4th or 5th and then give Brandon Aiyuk $22 million on April 1st and then be patient? That option bonus makes, I mean, like, I could see a team wanting to trade for him on April 2nd after the Niners pay him. But then if the Niners pay him, I could see them wanting to keep him because they just paid him $22 million not to leave.
Yes. And again, I see why the Niners want to move off of him. I would too. If anyone, give me a 7th and I would move off of him just because of how expensive he is and just coming off that injury.
I'll send you a 7th if you take his freaking contract.
Yeah, take that contract off my hands. Pay him that money. Like, I would love to do it. Now, if he was healthy and had a Brandon Aiyuk type season last year, it would be a different conversation. But that injury scares me. Now he might come back and be perfectly fine, but I'm concerned about that injury. So if I'm the Niners, I'm moving him to anybody that'll take him. But if I'm another team, I'm not paying that amount of money for a risk like that. I'm just not doing it.
Is it possible that there's the Niners always seem split on what they want to do, and they never seem like to have a lot of conviction? Is it possible they're thinking like, yeah, we'd really like to trade Aiyuk and clear this cash for the Yorks, but if we trade him for a 5th round pick and he comes back in the end of 2025 or in 2026 and he's Brandon Aiyuk again, it's an awful trade. We lose. We look stupid, and we did this for non-football reasons. Is there any like hesitation there with that possible outcome? Because you don't know how he's going to bounce back. I don't know.
For me, you did. My internet continues to be trash. I'm working on it. I promise. It's out of my hands.
It's actually okay today. It's not bad.
All right. For me, I'm moving on from Brandon Aiyuk if I'm the 49ers, just because of his costs, period. Like especially where they're at right now. We see the direction that they're going. They're trying to move off of these contracts. You can find a good wide receiver in the draft. Wide receivers are aplenty. They are the new running backs. If I'm trying to get cheaper, I like Brandon Aiyuk. He's a good wide receiver. Is he worth $30 million a year and a $22 million signing bonus on April whenever it is? No, he's not. So if I'm the 49ers, if anybody wants him, anyone wants to take this contract off of my hands, I'm moving him, period, regardless of any personal feelings or anything else, any football decisions, and any of that. I'm moving on from him because of that contract. Specifically because of his injury. Like if he balled out last year, didn't get injured, then I might like reconsider it. But like that injury, like it could be bad. Like he could come back and be a baller, and he might. But I'm just too concerned to be paying that amount of money for a wide receiver with that injury.
Yeah, it's true. It just seems like I don't know. They could really regret it if he comes back and bounces back well. It's going to be a while. Think he's going to get traded? You think he's going to be on this team in a week? I think he's going to be. I don't think they're going to find a trade partner for him as desperate as they are.
He'll be on the team. He'll be on that. That's my opinion. Again, I just don't see like that's a fireable offense. If you trade for Brandon Aiyuk with that contract, with that injury, and he doesn't bounce back from it, that's a horrible decision to make. That's a big
right. He
risk.
Couldn't even pass a freaking
physical. They can't pass a
physical. Like what was the rush?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Niners are stuck with Brandon Aiyuk for another season.
It just seems like if they're talking about saving cash, this is where you do it. Like but what's tough about it is this is the point I wanted to make. I forgot. So, you could get rid of Brandon Aiyuk somehow, some way, get the contract off the books. But doesn't it feel like the damage has been done already from signing Aiyuk? You've already gutted the roster. Maybe if you hadn't signed Aiyuk last year, you could have kept Greenlaw or Ward or Hufanga or one of those dudes. But they're gone. And if you get rid of Aiyuk now, you're not creating cap space. You're just saving cash that you can spend on someone who's already on the team. Not to bring in new talent, not to make the team better, just to make someone on the team, we know who, richer, which again is great for that one person, but not necessarily great for the organization.
I don't think, this is what makes the signing of Brandon Aiyuk weird. He does not have a great relationship with Kyle Shanahan. And so that's why it's weird in the first place, right? And you saw it translate later on, Shortsgate that you reported. It's just an awkward thing, and I think they're trying to move away from those that culture. And so, again, I think the 49ers will jump all over any trade scenario that gets Brandon Aiyuk off the team, the books, and shaves Jed York money. But I don't think there's a team that's really going to do that. And if there is one, it would be the Browns because they're the type of team to do something like that. But I just don't see it happening.
Hold on. I'm getting crushed in the chat for my shirt. I like this shirt. It's a Vans shirt. I went to Vans and I was getting my nephew a shirt. I got him a nice shirt. It was a long sleeve green. And then I saw this. I was like, why don't I get this? No one likes it. Hold on.
You got to show it. Yeah, the full Walk to the sides. Yeah, see? Walk in it. We got to see you walk in it a little bit. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It's a nice shirt, dude. It's got a lot of colors going on. I like it. And Jesse called it the Coogee shirt. Yeah, it is kind of Coogee-esque. Why would you not want to be this fly in life? I don't understand. There's like at least 18 different colors on this shirt. That's a lot. That's good. That's efficient.
Yeah. It reminds me of some stuff we would have wore in the 90s, man. Actually, brings back memories. Yeah.
Mark Rich says, trade the shirt, Grant. Shirt looking like my grandma's floor. Damn, that hurts, bro. I really liked it. I spent $45 on this shirt thinking this was the money. Damn, I'm old. All right. What are the 49ers doing? Is it starting to make sense to you, Ryan? Or are you still flabbergasted?
It's starting to. Let me say it this way. Like, I feel like I know what they're doing. Not necessarily it's what I do, but I feel like that I know what they're doing now. And to me, Brock Purdy's on the verge of signing a 3-year contract. And the 49ers plan is to get young, draft a bunch of dudes, and build around Brock Purdy. That seems like that's what the plan is. They're going to keep stars, the Kittles, the Warners. They're going to let Trent Williams retire, a 49er. They're going to let Kyle Juszczyk retire, a 49er. So they're keeping like the good, positive, big names, a handful of guys. And they're just going to get younger and build around Brock Purdy through the draft, which I necessarily wouldn't do, but it feels like that's what they're doing. That's the plan.
Can I just give this plan 2 thumbs down?
Yeah.
I hate this plan. So you're telling me that what they're going to do this offseason essentially is lose 9 starters, pretend to cut Juszczyk, but psych, bring him back, extend Brock Purdy, and draft people. And that's the offseason. That's the whole thing. We extended Brock. Okay. You went 6-11 last year with Brock making nothing. Now he's going to be taking up 21% of your salary cap or whatever the hell, and you're better now. Fans aren't going to be very happy about this. This is not a good offseason plan to me.
That's their plan. I think that's what it is. I don't necessarily like. I've spoke about what I think about Brock Purdy. He's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's the quarterback that you build around. I don't think he's the quarterback that you're like, all right, you're the future. Let's draft young, and we're going to build around you and be a factor for the next decade. I don't see that from Brock Purdy. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's more of a bridge quarterback. I don't necessarily like the plan, but I think that in their heads, that's the direction that they're moving.
I just don't. Yeah, it just feels like such a Miami Dolphins direction. It's such a Dallas Cowboys direction.
The Cowboys.
It's such a low rent, low tier NFL organization direction. Like, yo, we just went 6-11 and things aren't great. We got the oldest team in football, but we just extended our quarterback who isn't elite, but he's a great story and a great person. And now we're set at the most important position. So renew your season tickets. And in fact, they got a little bit more expensive this year, but you know what? You can rest assured at night that we have our guy at quarterback. Is he one of the best? No, absolutely not. But he's down to earth and he's nice and we like him.
They're going business more than ever. That's the Dallas Cowboys model. Jerry Jones, like, I had my guy, Michael Melvin comes on my show and we talk. He's a Cowboys fan. And what he kind of like broke down for me is like, if you look at the Cowboys as a football team trying to win a Super Bowl, you have a lot of things that you can complain about. But if you look at Dallas Cowboys as a business, they're the best. And so I think now more than ever, the 49ers are just focusing predominantly on the business side. How can we make the most money possible while spending the least amount possible? Be relevant is all that's required to make money from a business standpoint, just like the Dallas Cowboys. And I think Brock Purdy is going to be the face of that for a while.
I love that we're talking about this because I think this is the crux of the issue. Like the Cowboys business model is what the Niners aspire to. Their football model is crap, but their business model is great. And their business model very much is have stars on your team and pay them. Is Dak, like when they gave Dak Prescott $60 million a year, it was like, well, you guys are never, ever, 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 ever winning a Super Bowl, but you don't really care. You have your quote unquote star quarterback who people have heard of and they might buy his jersey. You have your quote unquote star pass rusher who people have heard of, might buy his jersey, and your star wide receiver. You have stars on your team. You have household names. You suck, but you have some stars. The Niners are very much going that direction. Like 6-11 last year, getting worse on paper, lost a bunch of non-stars. But as Juszczyk said, hey, they still got a bunch of stars. You still got CMC, still got Trent, still got Kittle, still got Bosa, still got Warner, and Purdy. So you got 7 stars on a team that went 6-11. But at least when you go to Levi's Stadium, you've heard of the people on the field, and maybe you'll buy their jersey.
And this year more than ever, the Dallas Cowboys, since I believe 2016, have not paid a free agent more than $6 million. Now the Niners
are going right there. That's inspirational.
Yeah. It's business. It's business right now more than anything. I feel like
you pay your own stars.
You pay your own stars that you draft that have, built a reputation here
that you vacation with,
that the fans love, that sell jerseys, sell tickets.
Yeah.
And with free agents, you don't spend a lot of money.
Hargrave didn't sell any tickets. Hargrave didn't sell any jerseys. Kittle's been selling jerseys since 2017.
Yeah.
Juszczyk sells jerseys.
York is in his zone. York has
Please
found.
Raise your hand if you're watching this. If you're watching this show right now and you ever bought a Juszczyk jersey, raise your hand. Hold it up high. We're watching you. York did this. It's your fault.
York's found his comfort zone. I feel like he's found his comfort zone. He's got the coach. He's got the GM. He's found his model where how he can make money and they'll be relevant. And they got a slight chance to win a Super Bowl every year.
I agree. And I think they've kind of figured out that they're going to make X amount of money from the Niners, whether they pour in hella money to the roster or not. That fans are going to buy into Brock and Kyle and the whole operation, whether they're going big with the spending or building through the draft. They're always going to have 18 million content creators saying that what they're doing is hella smart and the right thing to do. And what they can do is take back a little bit of the spending on football, spend it on other investments, and make more money. And that's really they're trying to make soccer into major revenue streams and haven't accomplished it yet. I think that's the number one project for Parag Marathe right now. This is the Niners are more of a back burner project. They're going to be making money one way or another because they're the Niners.
Yeah, and last year they spent more money than any other team in the NFL, and they went 6-11.
Yeah.
So they probably figure we can go 6-11 with some young homegrown talent. We don't need to be we went 6-11. It didn't pay off for us. What are we doing?
It just feels like in Hollywood, Kyle would have been a director or producer saying, I need $200 million for this film, $334 million for this film. But it's going to be a blockbuster. Don't worry. It's going to be the number one film of the year. And it freaking flops.
It bombed. Yeah.
And then Warner Brothers or whatever is like, so Kyle, we're never giving you that money again. This is your new budget in Hollywood and you better make it work because we don't trust you. That's kind of what it feels like what happened with Kyle and the Niners this year. You're never getting that budget again, but you might just be able to make it work with young guys because we heard you're a great coach. So prove it, buddy.
I don't think people, fans in particular, think enough from the business standpoint. They think
they just flushed $334 million down the drain for nothing. It's gone.
This is a business first and foremost. That's the number one goal more than anything. Then Super Bowl would be great, right? If
you convinced your boss to spend $334 million on something and it didn't work out, you think they'd be like, Ryan, it's one of those things, dude. Let's just keep plugging away. Or do you think, Ryan, we need to have a serious conversation? No one in this office wanted to do this, but you told us to do this and it didn't work out. So now we got to do some things different.
Yeah, that's where the 49ers are at. That's what they're doing. That's the direction they're going. They haven't brought in zero big free agents. So we know what
but doing. It is fair for certain fans to be like, you spend a lot of money on football and it didn't work out one year. Tough. Who cares? It's your job to invest. And it's because you had one down season. Now you're going to justify not spending on football. And fans are supposed to be like, yeah, austerity. This is dope. No, you guys are worth it. What, $7 billion? You took a little bit of a loss this year. Probably didn't even take a loss. No. So I'm just not moved by the York's plight. And if I were a fan, I'd be pissed. If I were Kyle, I'd be pissed. Like, yeah, okay, I got it wrong. Okay, but now we have to be the A's? Why?
Well, how many fans are really dialed into this? You know, some of the ones that watch us, right? Like,
Us.
right?
The
Some of
kind of
them,
people who would watch a 49ers live stream at 9 in the morning in March.
yeah. But a
Yeah. We got
majority,
1,500 people watching right now. Just want to say that.
shout out to all you guys.
Shout out to all of y'all.
A majority of like just 49er fans they're not dialed into this, right? They trust the 49ers. They're content with being relevant and getting to the playoffs and losing, like, and they're going to be fine with it.
I don't think people realize that I have a pocket. It actually has a pocket as well. I think a pocket adds a lot to a t-shirt. And you gotta love the collar. It's a substantial collar. Sometimes t-shirts have those flimsy collars and they get stretched out. I don't like t-shirts like that. This is $45 t-shirt. A $45 t-shirt. You guys don't like it? God, am I just old? I felt like this was so money when I saw it. I was like, this is something I would have worn in 2009. Watch out.
Do you remember the rayon button-ups? It reminds me of that. It's not a button-up, it's a t-shirt, but it reminds me of the rayon button-ups that we used to wear in the 90s.
No, and you know what? The fact that I don't remember it makes me feel like it's disrespect. I don't like it.
It's not bad. I used to wear hella rayon button-ups. Tupac used to wear a lot of rayon button-ups.
There you go. So taking it back to 1995. Robin Huber says maybe they sign Rodgers. I'm going to say something about Rodgers. He's weird. He's waiting around. No one knows what he wants. I know what he wants. He wants to play for the 49ers. That's what he wants. He's from here. He went to Cal. He thinks he should have been drafted by the Niners. I think in his narcissistic world, it's the perfect ending to his career, ending where it should have started, blah, 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 blah. It's a good team. He knows the system. I'm sure he'd love to play for the freaking 49ers, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Mark Rich said you're looking like a pack of zebra gum. Do you remember zebra gum?
Zebra gum was so good. I think that's why I bought this, because I think I loved zebra gum.
Yeah, that's
you guys are all jealous that I have way better $45 t-shirts than you. You're mad. Josh Wyatt says Juice Deal makes sense because not only did it save cash, but it created $3.6 million in dead cap that they can't be forced to spend against the cap minimum. That's a great point. If you want to get out of spending cash, just create a bunch of dead cap so you actually can't spend. There's a rule against it.
Yeah,
it's true. It's genius, man. Parag is on another level. And then over the weekend, Parag and Jed and friends came out to Oakland.
Trying to steal your vibe.
Trying to steal my whole vibe. Went to downtown Oakland. Went to Afghan restaurant that I haven't been to yet. It's relatively new. And just ran up the tab. Ran it up. They're like, oh, do we have to pay Dre Greenlaw? Nope. Why don't we get another steak? Do we have to pay Travaris? Nope. Why don't we get dessert? Just kidding. I think they would have been able to afford it one way or another, but it's a bad look. I just don't understand slashing prices, slashing spending left and right, getting rid of 8 million players, and then posting in back-to-back weeks like, here I am with great tickets at the Warriors game and all my friends who I pay and all my kids' friends. Here I am at this. It's like, why don't you not post it?
Here's the thing too about the Niners right now. Like it's not that they're just not signing expensive free agents right now. I fully anticipate them being very sticky with the money moving forward for a while. Like they're going to pay Brock, but I don't see them throwing out big contracts to outside free agents or to really a lot of their own players moving forward. They're going to get younger. They're going to have a bunch of guys on rookie contracts, and it's going to last, 3-4 years before they have to make those decisions. And maybe this tides will change at that point. But right now, I see this being the plan with the 49ers for the foreseeable future.
Good news, Niner fans. They're now the San Francisco A's. Meanwhile, the A's in Sacramento are spending money. I don't understand Barry sports anymore. Huh?
Am I back?
No, he's back. You're back. You're back.
All right. Here's what I wanted to say now. A little bit of optimism. Shelling out a bunch of money doesn't necessarily translate to wins, as we saw last year. So it's possible that this new formula is the right formula. Getting younger players are statistically, factually more likely to stay healthy. They're usually a little quicker, right? So this actually might end up being a good plan. And we kind of got to see how
I agree. It could be a good plan. I just don't have high hopes for 2025. Although it seems like some Niner fans do. Here's the thing. When you add up everything the Niners have done, it doesn't look great. Put it on paper. I mean, they've lost 9 starters. The big move they're going to make this year is adding a new blocking tight end and
Mac Jones,
Demarcus Robinson and rookies and extend Brock. Like on paper, that's a 6-11 team that took a step back that would need lots of young players to step up to go forward. But people say, well, it's an easy schedule. That's true. And then Christian McCaffrey's coming back. Christian's coming back. He wasn't there last year, but Christian still a great player. And if he's the guy he was in 2023, then why can't this team make a run? It seems to me that all the hopes and dreams of 2025, if this season is going to be anything, are very much dependent on Christian McCaffrey being the guy he was 2 years ago. Like, are they putting too much pressure on him to be great?
I don't know if they're putting too much pressure. That he's a professional athlete making $19 million a year as a running back, highest paid running back in the NFL. I mean, take the pressure. That's what you get paid for.
I guess when I meant pressure, not mental pressure, but
relying on him too much.
Yeah, like this sounds like another big workload year for Christian McCaffrey if he can take it.
Yeah, and we'll see what they do in the draft. I fully expect them to draft a running back because they lost Jordan Mason. They can't rely on IG to be an every down back, and you can't rely on Christian McCaffrey. We don't know what Christian McCaffrey is going to look like. So they're going to be drafting a running back, probably top 4 rounds, 3rd or 4th round. If Cam Sketabo is not on this team, I would be surprised. I really think he is going to be.
It's the most obvious pick in the draft. They're taking him.
I feel like it's going to happen. So, are they putting too much pressure? No, but they're relying on him too much as of right now. We'll see what happens in the draft. If they go after a running back early, maybe that's the solution. I don't know.
Yeah, whenever you lay out why this offseason has been so bad, I think the common retort from people who are very hopeful or confident in the 49ers as well, what about McCaffrey? Why would you count him out? No, that's fair. I'm not necessarily counting him out. Maybe he comes back this year and is just freaking incredible. But what I saw last year was bilateral Achilles tendonitis that took forever to go away. He had to leave the country to get treatment. So is that fully behind him? I don't know. And then he played for 4 games. First 3 didn't look so good. The 4th one looked good. It was in snow. His blocking was incredible. People were slipping all over the field. And he got hurt and left the game with a different injury. And you could say it was a fluke or it was related. No one knows how that happened. Maybe he hit his knee on the ground. Maybe it was related to the previous stuff. 4 games he lasted. So if he's in and out this year, this is a team, in my opinion, that could win 6 games again. It's very much dependent on this guy or whatever running back they draft in round 3 being incredible right away.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't have a ton of confidence. I'm hopeful. I'm super hopeful that Christian McCaffrey returns to the Christian McCaffrey we saw in 2023. But as far as like my hope, it's not high. He's been injured a lot. And when he did play, he didn't look like himself. And maybe that was because of the injury, maybe because he wasn't 100% healthy. Maybe he'll get 100% healthy over this long offseason. The fact that he didn't play much last year, and he will be the Christian McCaffrey of old, but he's 29 now? I don't have a ton of confidence that the 49ers can rely on Christian McCaffrey to be there every single game and to be the same player that he was in 2023. So it's one of the biggest concerns I have for the 49ers, and they absolutely have to draft a running back replacement. Yeah, I mean, agree. A couple of days ago, Juszczyk was interviewed on SiriusXM because he's so important. And they were like, so this is a weird offseason. Why are you still confident in the team? And he's like, well, yeah, we're churning a lot of the roster, but we still have so many stars in the team. And he listed guys. He didn't say himself, thank God, but he said Kittle, McCaffrey, Warner, Fred, Jawan, and Trent. And I'm thinking I'm glad you also didn't say Aiyuk because we don't know that he's going to play this much this year or even be on the team. But everyone else you mentioned last year was out there. You had Jawan. You had Kittle. You had Warner. You even had 10 games of Trent Williams. What you didn't have was Christian. So what you're saying, Juszczyk, is, well, we're going to have our offensive player of the year back this year. Maybe. I wouldn't want to put all my eggs in the 29-year-old basket, a running back basket, who's, you know what I mean? It just seems like it could work out, but it probably won't. Yeah, I mean, the reason why they struggled last year, obviously, Christian McCaffrey, which you mentioned, Brandon Aiyuk, When he came back, he wasn't himself because he missed all of training camp, and then he got injured. He was gone. Brandon Aiyuk was huge for Brock Purdy's success and the 49ers' success in 2023. And then Deebo Samuel was a shell of himself last season. Now Deebo's gone, which I think might be a good thing because they were relying on him so heavy in their offense. So he's gone. So really, we need CMC healthy. We need Ricky Pearsall to step up, and we need Carlson to play at a high level as well, because Brandon Aiyuk, when is he going to even be back? And when he comes back, what is he going to look like? The 49ers will not, it won't surprise me if the 49ers draft a wide receiver again. And they're definitely going to get a running back in the top 4.
I agree. Amaya says, forget what the haters saying. I like the Radio Static t-shirt. Man, fuck you. Joseph for real says, I would love the inside of coach about being a big man and using barefoot shoes for top athletes. Individual toes not needed. Mac Mall or second to none. Mac Mall. Second to none was that one of DJ Quick's groups?
Yeah, I remember second to none. They had a couple good ones. That was back in the day. Now, I don't know if it was DJ Quick, but I remember second to none.
I mean, like on the DJ Quick albums, there's always like one song featuring second to none, one song featuring Sugar Free, one song featuring Play a Ham, one song featuring, he had his crew. You know what I mean? None of them really got that big, but it was a good crew.
DJ Quick is an underrated producer. Really, he's huge.
All around artist. I like his rapping too. His Safe and Sound, was that what it was called? Safe and Sound, and then Rhythmalism, 2 of the best rap albums in West Coast canon. I'm a big DJ Quick guy though.
Yeah, I love DJ Quick, man. Yeah, I remember being like 11 years old, rapping I Love BP.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. 11. Yeah. You knew.
Yeah.
You saw your whole future. Maya says, Grant, Nick's a great co-host, but Maj doesn't sound like he knows squat about football and it's painful to watch. He's just searching stuff up half the time. Hold on. In Maj's defense, we've been doing a lot of draft stuff, and I think that's Nick's wheelhouse, but Maj is a very opinionated, animated, entertaining co-host. And I'm still pissed at you about what you said about my shirt. So in your face. All right. Brock Purdy, man, what do you think his end game is here? You think he's just going to, like, how do you think this plays out? Do you think right before the draft he accepts a modest 3-year deal? You think there was a report that came out this weekend from Mike Garafolo? He made it seem like it was his opinion, but he also made it sound like he'd been talking to the agent for hours. I don't know. He was like, if they're going to have to agree to a number close to $60 million a year, that made my head explode. Predict this one. How's this end?
Brock Purdy signs a 5-year contract, 3 years guaranteed, $49 million per season. That's what I think happens. And I think he has to, because the Niners have all the leverage here. And I think if the Niners were really, really cutthroat, they have even more leverage to that and don't really need to pay him that amount. But they're trying to do the right thing for a good guy who's a great leader and a good person and a good quarterback. So I think that's what ends up happening sometime in May. Brock Purdy, gets smart and signs the contract. Look, a lot of people are saying, hey, Brock Purdy can hold out. That's ridiculous to me. Like, Brock Purdy, why would you not sign a $40 million contract, a $45 million contract, hell, a $35 million contract for 3 years, something that guarantees you $100 million? Why would you not sign that if you're Brock Purdy and bet on yourself when you're only scheduled to make $5 million? Like, he's worth $6 million. Brock Purdy's net worth, according to Google, is $6 million. People
are gassing him up though, man. Agents, content creators, I see it every day, man. Well, this is what Tua makes, and this is what Trevor Lawrence makes, and this is what Dak makes, and Brock's better than all of them, and none of them have his playoff resume, and the market's the market, and that's what it is. He's got to give him $55 million a year. Like, I see that every day. How does that not seep into his brain? Why? How is he not thinking like that? I would.
Well, if he thinks like that, that's fine. But I think, like, my point is the Niners don't have to think like that. No, the Niners could say, hey, bro, play out your contract. Oh, you don't want to play? Okay, you're going to hold out. That's fine. Let's see what Mac Jones can do. And if Mac Jones comes in and balls out, Brock Purdy might never even see the field again. I'm not saying Mac Jones is better than Brock, but it's a possibility. So, like, there's a lot at risk for Brock Purdy to hold out and not accept a life-changing contract from the 49ers.
See, that's what I want to say. I feel like the Niners kind of want to have it both ways. I don't think they want to be seen as like playing hardball with Brock. I think they want to be seen as being fair. We're going to make you an offer, and we've cleared the cap. Like, we've cleared, not the cap, but we've gotten rid of a lot of cash responsibilities. All our cash is reserved for your extension. You can see we've gotten rid of so many players. We are prepared to give you an extension that we think is fair. And we're going to offer you it eventually, and it'll be something like $45 to $49 million a year. And I wonder, like, after hearing the Garofalo report, if Brock and his agent say that they can't accept anything below $50 million a year, are the 49ers like trying to look like they're doing the right thing, but at the same time kind of hoping that Brock and his agents say no so they don't have to pay him anything? And they can be like, cool, all right, we'll come back and play on your rookie deal. And if you hold out, cool, we get to see Mac Jones with starters. So either way, I wonder if like how really desperate they are to have a certain outcome. They might be cool with a bunch of outcomes.
Well, I mean, if you look at what they're doing, here's one of the questions I've been having. Are they being cutthroat with everybody's money because they want to sign Brock Purdy? Or is that the new mentality that they are going to apply to Brock Purdy? Like, that's one of the questions I've been thinking in my head recently. So we'll see. But I don't think the Niners have more leverage in this situation than any big contract negotiation that they've had in a long time. They have Brock Purdy in contract. Pay him $5 million. They could franchise tag him 2 more times. That's $100 million roughly over 3 years that they could pay Brock Purdy. That's 30.
And you have a backup signed for 2 years who was a first-round pick, who's not that much older than Brock, who fits the system. I mean, he hasn't had success in the NFL, but he has pedigree. And we saw how the Niners helped turn Darnold's career around. There's precedent here. It's interesting.
I mean, the only reason to sign Brock Purdy to a big contract is because it's the quote right thing to do. It's a little dirty to string Brock Purdy out like that. But that has a threshold.
If he turns you down, if you offer something fair and he turns you down, you didn't do him dirty. You did not do him dirty. And that's like what I think the Niners, that's the little tightrope they're trying to walk right now.
Right, exactly. And then Brock has to worry about that too, because hey man, they offered you $49 million per year for 3 years and you turn that down. Like, that kind of puts a little.
Yo, I got an idea. How about this for like a compromise? Hey man, Brock, you want $60 million a year is not going to happen coming off a 6-win season. Okay. We want to pay you $45 million a year. You're not going to accept it, obviously, because you feel that you're better than a lot of quarterbacks who make more than that. So instead of strong-arming you and making you come back to the team and play for $5 million and like sort of ruining the relationship with you, why don't we give you a 1-year deal? 1 year. Whatever, $30 million. A lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But not 5. And you can just 1 year, like we can go back to the negotiating table next year. We're not going to like, again, strong-arm you, make you play for 5. 30. 1 year.
Isn't that essentially whatever Brock Purdy's contract? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's an extension, though, right? Like, so if they offer him 30, it's 35 over 2 years. Am I wrong? They can't like wipe out the contract that's in existence right now, right? There's that.
Now you're asking questions that I should know the answer to, but don't. I just thought it was a good idea, but you're right. I don't know exactly how that would work.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 49ers
with first round picks and be like, okay, well, you have the fifth round
big. They can make it sound.
I don't think they can do it, actually, now you mentioned. I think it's something you could do with a quarterback who's a first-round pick or a 5th-year option. You could renegotiate that 5th-year option. But you're right. And it's damn, sorry, Brock. I tried, Brock. I don't know what to tell you. I don't tell you.
Here's what they could do. They could make it sound huge on paper so he feels good. Yep. Guarantee something that they're actually comfortable with and make up the difference with incentives. Like, if you do this, then this happens, etc.
Fair. I just don't like the idea that Brock and his agent think there's no repercussions for last season. Like, they're coming to the negotiating table, I don't know, allegedly, as if last season didn't happen. And they're like, so, guy was 4th in MVP voting. Like, okay. But then we took away a couple of players, and all of a sudden, you go 6-9 and get hurt twice. And when you had a chance to like have one good game and put it all behind you against the Rams, you were freaking awful. And you want $60 million? Like, what? What are you talking about? All right. It was a contract season. You flopped. There are consequences. If you want that money, you got to come back and do it again, baby. What are you talking? This is sports.
That's the reality. I mean, Brock had a good half first season, a good first full season, But last season, he wasn't that good. He was just mid. And
Right.
he had several opportunities to put the 49ers in the playoffs, and he wasn't able to step up and make it happen. Now, there is stuff going on around him, but guess what? You want to be paid like an elite quarterback. You're expected to overcome that stuff. So it's what have you done for me lately? And lately, it wasn't worth $60 million.
The whole thing with the quarterback making that much money, right? Like, well, it's 20% of our salary cap. It's ridiculous, but this quarterback is so good and he plays such an important position that he elevates the roster. And we've seen that. Stafford elevates the Rams. Lamar elevates the Ravens. Purdy doesn't elevate the 49ers. He had a chance to show that he could last year. What does it look like if he doesn't have an all-pro team all around? We saw it last year. He came back down to earth. The person that elevates his team is the running back, not the quarterback. That's the problem. So what are you paying for?
And can we talk? I mean, the 49ers have a quarterback that they made the highest paid quarterback in the NFL recently, who went to the Super Bowl, who took a team to the Super Bowl with an all-star cast around him. And his name is Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, that wasn't that long ago. That's the last big contract they gave a quarterback. They made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He took them to a Super Bowl. But what happened when he went to another team? He wasn't that good. He's a backup quarterback now.
Right.
So, like, that's got to be sitting in their mind too. And, Kyle, he's a little bit, like, I'm that guy, probably has those thoughts as well. Like, Brock is good, but in a large part because of my offense, right? Like, that's got to be a thought as well.
And again, even in this offense, even with Juwan Jennings and even with Kittle, it wasn't that good last year. I don't. That has to be part. Parag is very tough in his negotiations. I would imagine the agent's trying to constantly play past 2024 and look at his numbers in the aggregate and put it all together. And Parag's like, yeah. Let's watch this throw in the fourth quarter against the Rams. Can we watch this one again? Triple coverage. Juwan Jennings downfield in field goal range. What was this? Brock, what was going through your mind on this one? Because if you had just not done this, if you had just won this one game, you had to score 13 points to win the game. Defense played great. Greenlaw was out there. All of your sins this season would have been forgiven. He found a way. He overcame. You couldn't. What happened? And it was your decision making in the second half consistently in this close games. Like, how do you not use that in your negotiations? I would if I were Parag Marathe. I wouldn't let him get off the hook with this. And if you want all the money you think that you're worth, all those people that got those extensions got it coming off good years. Tua got it coming off a good year. Like, you got to come back and play better, man. Last year wasn't good, no matter how much Lombardi says it was. I don't care what advanced statistic you want to find that says you were good last year. We watched it. It wasn't good in the second half. It was bad.
And then here's the other thing that's surprisingly not been talked about. I think every single 49ers content creator, media member was speculating that Brock Purdy is playing injured. Like, we saw his deep balls fluttering and falling short and being thrown short all season.
His balls were fluttering.
His balls were fluttering. And what did everyone say? They said he's hurt. He's playing injured.
It's his shoulder. It's his elbow. It's his shoulder and his elbow.
Something going on. We'll find out after the season. We haven't heard anything about it. So What is the situation with Brock Purdy's arm? Is he healthy? Like, that,
or is it something that they don't tell us about? And if the Niners know what's really going on, why would you be so eager when you got Mac, who doesn't have an elbow thing or a shoulder thing or an elbow and a shoulder thing? Just saying. Brock, it's going to be interesting, man. I kind of feel like the Niners are trying their best to look like they're doing the right thing. Hey, we got the money. We got the cash. It's right here. We brought it with us. It's in this freaking suitcase. Turns out it's only $45 million though. That's all the cash we could get. And we're kind of hoping that you don't want it because we don't want to give you any money and we want to see Mac Jones. So say no.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, right? Like, I talked about what kind of backup we talked about last season. We'll know how they feel about Brock Purdy based on two things: the backup quarterback that they bring in and the first offer that they give him. Well, quarterback that they brought in was Mac Jones, who they rumored that they wanted when they got Trey Lance. That's a pretty high name signing. He's a top what was he, the 11th pick overall?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then they only offered him $45 million, and they only guaranteed 3 years. That tells you how they think about Brock Purdy. I mean, they think of him like we think of him. He's a good quarterback, but he's not that dude, because if he was that,
but then when you keep it going, it's like he's a good quarterback, but so was Jimmy on the Niners. And then Jimmy left the Niners. It's like, oh, you're not a good quarterback. You're a backup quarterback. So what is Brock really? Is he a top 12 quarterback in the league, or is he a top 12 quarterback in the league on the Niners? And then what is Mac? Is Mac a backup, or could Mac be a good starting quarterback on the 49ers? Like, I don't think the Niners know the answers to these questions. And before you start giving away $100 million guaranteed, you might want to know. You might want to get some evidence, some information.
The fact they brought in Mac Jones speaks volumes to me. The fact that 49ers only offered him 3 years at $45 million speaks volumes to me. If they believe Brock Purdy was the next Steve Young, the next Joe Montana, on the same level as Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen,
Lamar, 10-year deal.
10-year deal. They'd be trying to lock him in
10-year deal
forever right now.
Forever.
Like, people are not, they're not talking about this enough. Like, that's the facts. If they thought he was that guy, they'd be trying to lock him in now. And they're not.
And there's no way you can think he's that, or you can know that he's that guy off of this season he just had when you look at his full resume. And the people that say that they think he is are either dishonest, huge fans, or in contact with the agent. Amaya says, I said I like the t-shirt. Yeah, right. No one likes it. It hurt my feelings. The Gold Rush 561 says, are there any indications that the Niners are looking at quarterbacks in the draft?
I don't think so. I think they'll go.
I think they're going to roll with Mac and Tanner.
Yeah, Brock and Mac and Tanner is good enough for them right now, I think.
That's too bad. I'd like them to bring in like a dual threat quarterback. Kyle, you're supposed to be on the cutting edge of offensive football. We all see that's where football is going. Quarterbacks who can double as running backs. What? You tried with Trey Lance. It didn't work out. You were partially responsible. Maybe he wasn't that athletic. Who knows? We'll talk about him in a minute, but like, just give up and bring in just only Mac Joneses from now on. I mean, I'm just saying. I want Jalen Milroe.
If you look at his past with those type of quarterbacks, like look what happened to RG3. Look at what happened to RG3. Look what happened to Trey Lance. So he's probably gun shy from those quarterbacks.
True. Joseph Real says, album off, Mac Ball, legal business, or drew down explicit game. Dev the Dude, boo-booing, or UGK too hard to swallow. Damn.
Mac Ball, illegal business.
Mac Ball, legal business might be the best Bay Area rap album.
It's
my favorite drew down one is the one after explicit game. It's what's it called?
I don't know names of albums that great, but I know illegal business. That was a big one. I believe Mac Ball was only 17, still going to Vallejo High School when that one dropped, and he had like the
one that's probably the biggest was UGK's. I would have to say.
Yeah,
the UGK one. I mean, are you a UGK fan?
No.
What? How you say no like that?
I'm not. I'm a big. At that time in my life, I was Bay Area only. Some LA stuff. Tupac, like that was it for me.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. I just love the Dirty South Houston sound with Pimp C and Mike Dean. Like Pimp C is a great producer, and that like wow guitar in all their songs. I love that shit, dude, so much. Just me. I don't know. It's just Josh says, looks like a shirt Billy Madison, but fuck you. It's a good shirt. It cost me $45. Nice shirt, G. Thank you, Dave. How's my guys this morning? Like and sub. Good, Dave. Thank you. Appreciate you, Dave. Can I get a Fernando? No, not this morning. I'm in a bad mood, John. Fernando. All right, we got to talk about Trey Lance, man. It's March 24th, 2025, and he still hasn't signed. Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, all these guys have signed. Only quarterbacks who haven't signed are like Joe Flacco, Carson Wentz, Case Keenum, Drew Lock. Is it over? What do you think?
I think I'm going to assume I know what you just asked me, even though it froze on my internet. But I think I know what you probably just asked me. Trey Lance, man, I think what he's going to end up doing is signing somewhere as a backup or a third string quarterback. But probably what he should do, which I was like thought was an insult to him for the longest, when people said it, but he probably should go to the CFL and just like play. He's got to play at this point. Being a backup is just not going to help him. It's not going to help him. He needs snaps. So if I'm Trey Lance, I'm going to the CFL and I'm balling the hell out, or I'm going to that other league that the Rock owns, whatever that's called, the UFL. And I'm getting the actual play time and balling out and proving all my doubters wrong. The good news for Trey Lance is he's made $34 million in his career. He's good. And he's been a class act throughout the entire process. So he can never play another snap again. And he's set for life with $34 million. He's responsible with his money. And he's a good person. But if he really wants to make his dream come true as an NFL quarterback, he needs to go play somewhere, CFL, UFL, wherever it is, and get actual meaningful snaps and reps.
What I would do if I were him, honestly, I would call up Jeff Garcia. I could give him Garcia's number. And I would ask him about his journey through the Canadian Football League. Like, Jeff Garcia wasn't drafted, went to the Canadian Football League in 94, was the backup for Doug Flutie, like didn't even get a job as a starter in the CFL. Flutie goes down, Garcia goes in, throws 546 passing yards and 6 touchdown passes in a game. It's like, oh, and then eventually in 97, he like wins the most outstanding player in the CFL. He really was there for a while, and eventually at 29 got signed by the Niners. Like, Trey's 25. What? Doug Flutie did it. Jeff Garcia did it. I think it would be so freaking cool for him to be like, all right, NFL, you guys never gave me a chance. You wrote me off. Watch how freaking good I am. I think it would be such a good move, but he has to be good. He has to actually do it.
I believe that that's what he should do. And I don't know what he's going to do. It's got to be very humbling to do that, but he can kick back on his money, right? Sit back on your pile of money and think about it. Trey Lance, you made $34 million. You're good financially. So what's really important to you now? Is it important to you now to prove everybody wrong? If that's the case, go to the CFL, play some football, and prove everybody wrong.
Hell yeah. Or does it? I don't know. It almost feels like the Kaepernick situation. Like, I got blackballed. Okay. Yeah. Like, do you want to play football though? You can go play somewhere else. You could go put it in the whole NFL's face, right? Kaepernick could have done that. Go play Arena Football League, CFL, ball out and be like, look, NFL really is blackballing me. I'm the truth. I would have loved to see that. And I would have loved to see that with Trey as well. Like, go show how good you are. Make the NFL look stupid. Make the Niners look stupid. Make all these teams look stupid. The only way you can do that is by playing. And it would be almost cool if he could go back to school. A lot of these quarterbacks are staying in college till they're 24, 25 anyway. But you can't do that. So you got to go to Canada. They speak English in Canada. It's not that bad.
Yeah, go do it, man. Or what's it called? The UFL.
I would watch Canadian Football League if they signed him. I would watch that.
Yeah, I'd be interested. I think the thing. Kaepernick never really wanted to work on his game. He already thought he was the guy when he arrived, and he was phenomenal early off. But he never wanted it wasn't a constant work on my craft thing with Colin Kaepernick. With Trey Lance, I don't get that vibe from him. I think he just wants to work, wants to be better, doesn't think he's perfect, but does believe in himself. And the best solution for Trey Lance is to go somewhere where you can play. Definitely don't go be a third string quarterback, because you almost have no shot of getting playing time unless you're on a team like the Niners and Brock Purdy. Well, if you're a backup, you might get some playing time if the guy goes down, if you're a second string quarterback. But if I'm Trey Lance, I'm going to the CFL and just carry whatever Canadian team you land on, put them on your backs, carry them, win a championship, become the MVP, come back to the NFL and prove everybody wrong. That's what he should do.
Yeah. What's the worst case scenario? You go to Canada and you don't tear it up and you don't get a job in the NFL, and it's revealed that you just weren't quite NFL material. Hey, there's no shame in that. At least you gave it your best and found out. I think there is a little bit of shame in being like, well, I got $34 million. NFL screwed me over. I never got a chance. I'm a victim. I'm done. I don't want to play football anymore. Like, don't do that. Don't be Josh Rosen. Prove it.
And North Dakota is right on the border of Canada.
Because if you quit, you can say whatever you want to say, but we're all going to think you didn't really like football, and that's why you didn't work out. Brock likes football.
Or
I know he does.
Or if you're Trey Lance, take your $34 million and ball out. Become a freaking hustler, an entrepreneur. Do whatever the hell that makes you happy, man. If it's not football, it's not football. Yeah.
Burgers, smash burgers, dude. You should Hyphy Burger in Oakland. They just opened this place called Hyphy Burger in Oakland. It's solid.
I'm not sure.
The marketing is incredible, man. Like there's like yellow school buses outside. It's just incredible. They got a franchise. They got to have them in Chase, but they have a sauce that is called the You Feel Me sauce. Like, hi, could I get some extra You Feel Me sauce? You feel me? And they're like, you feel me.
I'm not sure if I want my burgers hyphy. I don't know. I like, I'm not so hyphy.
That's one my thing. I went there and I was like, what is going to make this burger so hyphy? And it was nothing. It was just like a solid burger.
Yeah.
It wasn't particularly hyphy. I didn't go down.
How do you eat a hyphy burger? Just like,
I don't know.
Why are you eating it? Are you going to put that on the channel? Are you going to go eat?
I went once and I was like, I don't know what to do because like I don't love the hyphy burger. I like it. It just opened last month, but my favorite burger spot is like called Lovely's, and that's the one I want to do. But so I don't know. I have to figure out how I want to. I don't want to dump on. I like the hyphy burger. I give it a B plus, but there's better burgers in Oakland. I don't know what to do, but it's. I feel like a lot of times restaurants
you gotta
improve as they go.
You gotta be honest, but maybe give them some time to fine tune the product.
It's a solid burger. I really liked it, but it took me a half an hour to get the burger. These are all things that happen with the place that's been open for 3 weeks, and there's hella people there because again, the marketing is just incredible, man. You feel me sauce? Yes, I do feel you. But again, the sauce is like mayonnaise and ketchup, and like it was like I thought it would be something I've never tasted before.
I love the burger stands that they had in West Oakland when I lived there in like 2099. Hella good. What was it, like Giant Burgers?
Giant Burger all over Oakland.
All over Oakland. The little stands.
Giant Burger and Casper's hot dogs all over Oakland.
There was a burger stand in West Oakland. I won't say the name of it, but like you could get your burger and then they would put a sack of marijuana in your cup. You could order that as well. Yeah.
Wow. Only in West Oakland. As a guy who's from Oakland, I've spent very little time in West Oakland. East Oakland, huge, A's games, Fruitvale, all the time. West Oakland, kind of small, kind of far away from my house, kind of scary. It's like no one's really out. A lot of like tumbleweeds walking around. You feel like got to keep your head in a swivel, but maybe it's because I'm not from there. I don't know.
I was the only white guy living within like
lived in West Oakland.
I was there before gentrification. So it was an interesting.
They tried to gentrify West Oakland, but I don't know how successful it was. It's
been pretty successful because where I lived, it looks completely different now.
Yeah. Well, once they start moving in hyphy burgers, what I want to say is like making a hyphy burger is dangerous because if you put that shit in Montclair, just be a bunch of white people there, it'd look awful. But this is in West Oakland. It was very authentic. I got to say, it was pretty cool. And I think it's going to be very successful, man. I think there's going to be, if you saw a hyphy burger on I-5, you couldn't not go to it. You'd be like, I'm sorry, my Bay Area ties have forced me to go to this place. I'm telling you, it's got potential.
I feel like you need like some jalapenos or some pepperoncinis on a hyphy
They do
burger.
have it. So, okay, they have the hyphy burger, which is kind of standard, but for $1 more, they have the burnout burger, which has jalapenos, pepperoncinis. They're way ahead of you. I might have to, maybe I undersold them too. They also have shakes, and the shakes are like Fruity Pebbles shakes, Oreo shakes, Captain Crunch shakes. I don't know, but that seems pretty hyphy, dude.
That is
Fruity Pebbles shakes.
They need to name. If they're gonna have a hyphy burger, they need to name it after. They need like a Mac Dre burger, a Keek de Sneak milkshake.
I would agree with that,
right? Like that's a yuck mouth something, right? That's the direction
that would be pretty cool. But for now, they're starting with 2 burgers, few shakes, and fries. So check them out if you got it in you to go into West Oakland and be a real one. I'll be sure. 28 says they just announced Kirk Cousins is planning to waive his no trade clause after the draft. Will Kyle trade for him? No. No one's trading for Kirk Cousins' contract. That contract is disgusting. Absolutely not. No, better not. If he does.
Well, he's waiving his contract, right? Like, so that they can give him the vet minimum, can't they? Am I tripping?
He's waiving his no trade clause.
But doesn't that mean they have to? Oh, yeah. Nah.
Yeah. No one wants that contract. They're going to have to cut him. I don't understand. Colby Foreman says they need to run more options with Purdy at the goal line. Love the show as always. Let's hope the Giants are fun to watch this year. Oh, yeah. Baseball's coming up.
Hey,
I agree. I think Purdy's mobile enough that you could use him on the occasional zone read for a first down or a touchdown. Why not?
I just realized, Hyphy Burger, if you're watching, you need like a nacho or something like that.
What's up?
They need a nacho.
Yeah, I mean Nacho. I like that.
Nacho.
There's so much potential with this. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna work. But I gotta compare it to like the GOAT smash burger spot in Oakland, which is Lovely's, which is right downtown. They have a bunch of different burgers. They got like they do their take on like the double animal style. They do their take on a Tommy's burger. Did you ever have Tommy's burgers in LA?
Mhm.
Like the cheese,
Yeah, I lived in LA for like 8 years. So
yeah. Then they got the Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. Lovely's is incredible. That's my spot.
I'll try
it.
Yeah.
The Gold Rush 561 says, I hope not. Trey Lance deserves a legitimate shot. Kyle Shanahan ruined this guy's career with only 4 starts. He's not going to get a legitimate shot in the NFL. It's not going to happen. He won't. Is he waiting around for a starting opportunity, for an opportunity to compete? He's not going to get it. That's in Canada. And I'm sorry, it's not necessarily his fault. But I don't know. Other quarterbacks have taken the path less traveled. Why not, dude? You're from freaking North Dakota anyway. Minnesota's right next to it. It's right next to where you grew up.
Right.
It's just as cold.
They need to
do it. All right, that's all I got. It's a great show. Did you and I end a show exactly at 1 hour last week? Was that me and you?
It was one on the dot. Yeah, we messed up.
Good. Yeah, 1 in a million. Well, we went a little over today. We had 2,500 people watching. If you're just tuning in, Brandon Aiyuk, there's reports that the Browns are interested in trading for him. They haven't done it yet. I mean, if any team is more committed to throwing away money on players who won't play this year, it's the Browns. I mean, they're going to be paying Deshaun Watson not to play football this year. Why not pay Brandon Aiyuk not to play football this year? That's what they do. I think it makes sense. It's the Browns.
Let me plug something. This is important.
Plug it. Hey.
This is the Gloves Off book by Lowell Cohn. If you haven't read it, it's hella good. It's a really easy read, and I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Lowell Cohn, for those that don't know.
Get it right.
Very soon, and that'll be up on my channel the next couple of days. So make sure you read this book, though. It's hella good, you guys.
Please do. Thank you very much for doing the plug and doing the interview. It's going to be great. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Real quick, before we go, the SNS show says Joe Milton, quadruple exclamation points, trade Purdy for the 3rd. Trade Aiyuk, draft Travis Hunter at 3, and sign Joe Milton. I kind of like Joe Milton. But I wonder if they could do that. Patrick Moody says you missed my dub chat, Grant. Damn, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh, shit, I did. I'm so sorry. My bad. He had to spend $2 for me to get it. It was $20. Patrick Moody says at number 11, draft Missouri OT Armand Membu or Michigan DT Kenneth Grant. Somehow get 14, draft South Carolina. Nick Amenwari. Next, Greenlaw moving to linebacker, wide receiver. Okay, let's stay with this for a minute since it's $20 and I missed you the first time. Membu, great player, great athlete. May not be there at 11. Here's my thing with Membu. He only played right tackle in college. I'm thinking University of freaking Missouri, if they felt he could play left tackle, they might have put him at left tackle considering it's the University of Missouri. I'm not saying he can't make the transition, but some people feel more comfortable on one side than the other. They'd have to investigate that a little bit. Are you a left tackle, or are you going to be a great Lane Johnson style right tackle, which there's value in that too, but I'm not sure he's necessarily left tackle. I don't know. So is that?
I mean, it's good. It's a good concept there, Patrick. Moody. Hopefully you're not related to Jake Moody. If you are, I don't really trust your opinions. I'm assuming you're
Moody. Wasn't there a Moody linebacker on the team in the Harbaugh era? Something Moody?
I can't remember that.
Oh, I have to look it up now. Hold on. They've drafted some Moodies. Nick Moody. 2013, 6th round. And then who could forget Ralph Moody, 1956.
Ralph.
What position? Ralph Moody. They pick 147, 1956. What position? B. Went to Kansas. What do you think a B is? Backer? I don't know. A B. He played B. I don't know. But what I want to say is, I think there's a distinct chance the Niners draft an Oregon Duck with their first pick. Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle, Josh Connerly, the offensive tackle. They both seem like they fit what the Niners are looking for, and the Niners have had success drafting Oregon players. I think there's something to this. Like, Howie Roseman drafts Georgia players that works for him.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know what you've had success with and what you don't, and you got to lean on that. The Niners have had success drafting Oregon players. You haven't had success drafting Alabama players. You tried with Reuben Foster and Cam Latu. I don't know. I'd be interested in those two guys. Maybe not at 11, but maybe after a trade back.
And he talks about Ted McMillan like that. If he's available at 11, that's going to be very hard. If they move away from Brandon Aiyuk, if for some reason the Browns are dumb enough to risk it all and pay Brandon Aiyuk that money and trade for him, and Ted is available, I would jump all over that because I think that's the kind of wide receiver that would excel with Brock Purdy.
Agree. It's just Josh says, looks like a shirt Billy Madison would wear. No, we already got you. Try Hot Boys here in Hayward on me, bro.
On me, bro.
Hot Boys. Is that a hot chicken sandwich spot? Probably. Hayward. I don't leave Oakland to eat food. I only stay in Oakland. I'll have to make an exception for the Hot Boys.
Yeah.
Got to come up to Rockland soon too. Got to check out the studio.
The Rock. We call it the Rock.
The Rock.
No, we don't call it that. I'm just messing around. Yeah. It doesn't get a nickname.
Make sure you subscribe to Ryan's channel. He's going to be interviewing my dad about his life. Going to be coming out later this week. Ryan, great stuff.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. See you guys.